Good evening, parasites. I'm Larry King, and with me tonight is Sarah Palin.
Hello, Larry.
Tonight we will be talking about the 1970s. It was a simple time. TV had 4 channels to choose from, women still had hairy bushes, and there were no sex offender registries. America was having her bicentennial, and an inbred peanut farmer was able to become president of the United States. Now, Sarah, what was your favorite thing about the 70s? For me, it was the old porn shops downtown where a man with a roll of nickels and a dream could watch a tranny go down on a dog and an Asian with a shaved head, and pay an immigrant to punch him in the face when it was all over.
There were a lot of things to love about the 70s, like Dirty Harry and Star Wars.
Do you remember Billy Beer? Me and Rosemary Clooney would down a 12-pack of the stuff, and she would let me choke her with my grandmother's old bras, while I screamed for Boatin' into a conch shell. Kirk Douglas would watch for $1 or $2.
Larry, you are making me as moist as a snack cake down there.
Billy Beer, Flipper, Charlie's Angels, those were things that America great.
I think you are forgetting the gas lines and meat shortages, and even the evils of disco. Do you remember the Son of Sam, Larry?
Yes, his neighbor's dog told him to kill. Mine just tells me to kill Hooters. When we return, we will get more in depth on politics in the decade that saw the end of the Vietnam War, the election of Jimmy Carter, and rise and fall of Governor Jerry Brown, who is running for governor again in 2010.
나 지금 바빠.
감동적이었어요.
나 막 울었잖아.
Wow, Larry, what an overtly sexual commercial.
No one watches CNN anymore, Sarah. How do you feel about Jerry Brown running for governor of California again after all these years? Me personally, I will always vote for Mary Carey. As a former governor, what is your thoughts on the California governor's race?
California is a small hellhole that should break off into the ocean.
Agreed. Switching topics now, Jimmy Carter was widely regarded as the worst president of all time until Obama. What are your thoughts?
You see, Larry, every few years America as a nation goes out, gets drunk, makes a horrible mistake, and wakes up with a bad case of crabs. Then you have to spend the next little bit weeding them out of your pumpkin patch with a fine-toothed comb. Democrats in office are those crabs, Larry.
Yes, and Obama is that fat girl you begged and tried to spend the next year or two trying to convince everyone she was not that fat. It all reminds me of my senior year.
Larry, I thought I was on this show to talk about my new book, not the 1970s or...
Shut up, Sarah, this is my show, and while I'm sober we will talk about what I want before the OxyContin kicks in. Recently I read a book about a homoerotic young English boy who dabbled in the black arts. What are your thoughts on this kind of trash being peddled to our children?
Yes, you are talking about Harry Dasherbag Potter. Those books, along with those terrible Twilight books, have ruined a generation. Larry, I can remember when vampires were scary and sucked blood, not cock.
Cock-sucking vampires and English wizards reminds me of David Bowie's parties in the 70s.
Good God, Larry, can we stop talking about the 70s, please?
I would wake up on Bowie's couch with a sock full of ether shoved in my mouth and blood on my ass, and we would get high and laugh it all away.
Jesus, Larry, your mind goes to dark places. Have you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior?
In a way, Sarah, I was born a snake handler, and I will die a snake handler. It is the only religion for more. Speaking of religions, what are your thoughts about Mitt Romney's Mormonism, and how that could affect him in the 2012 race?
I don't think his religion should be an issue. It is unfair to bring up Reverend Wright and Obama's past, so why is it fair to bring up Romney's Mormonism?
I like Mormons, they are nice and clean people. So are the homosexuals. I will only live next to Mormons and homosexuals. We need to go to a break, so I can take care of my hemorrhoids that are flaring up like the Tet Offensive.
What if you woke up a year from today? The Democrats had taken over, and you were able to see their new taxes.
Here's the payoff pitch.
See every nickel you spend.
Unbelievable!
See every dollar you lose. See your taxes taken every minute of every hour, week after week. And from the day we're born, No matter where you live, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, man, woman, young, old, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, or Deep South. Until the day we die, they will never stop. They will never quit. And yet some people don't think it's enough. If Democrats take over Congress, they will raise taxes by $2.4 trillion to keep up with their reckless spending. This taxation is insidious, it is pervasive, and it is growing. The burden increasingly falls on the average American family. Nothing is safe. Nothing is sacred. So maybe the question isn't, can you afford more of this? But can you afford more of them?
And we are back from a break.
Larry, you should see a doctor.
My doctor has a restraining order on me.
Can we please talk about something other than the 70s now, Larry? Like my book Going Route.
Yes, the 70s reminds me of a story. Back in 77 I picked up a hitchhiker and we did some peyote and tripped balls, man. When I woke up I was being buried in Tijuana, Mexico in a shallow grave. I got a big burst of energy and fought like hell. In the end it was just me and a burro and a shovel left alive. I unleashed my fury on the burro.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Larry? Seriously, you need some help.
Have you ever seen a donkey crab blunt?
Oh, you betcha I have.
Tell me, Sarah, are you going to run for president? Back when LBJ was in the White House, me and the press corps would secretly wipe our asses with his socks and pretend not to know anything about it when he got a horrible foot fungus.
Right now I am just focused on my book tour, for my book going.
I'm contractually obligated at this point in the show to mention Pinwood Club Man After Shave. I signed the contract with them that would allow me to buy the rights to the 1980s song Spin Me Right Round.
I don't think I know that one.
Come on, you spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby, right round, right round.
Up.
I need your love.
Up. Yes, dead or alive, what an obscure song, Larry.
I need your love. Hey, did you like the movie Teen Wolf? The 1980s were another magical time.
Larry, you have droned on and on about the 70s and now you are rambling about the 80s. Please stop it.
Man, that OxyContin is kicking and I have one testicle that is the size of a grapefruit and one that is the size of a grape. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't even care.
Do you remember Mr. Gatti's pizza? That was good stuff.
I am leaving.
I'm Larry King. Sarah Palin has just left the studio after flipping me the bird. It must be that time of the month, I'm guessing. This has been perhaps the last episode of Larry King Live as It Is. I have been blowing Anderson Cooper for airtime just to keep the show going. Maybe there is room for me at MSNBC. Good night, America.